Hey guys, it's KJ48. Welcome back to Tips, Tricks, and Tutorials. This is episode 14, and this is going to be a sorting system for Minecraft Feed the Beast. This video series for the sorting system is going to be 3 different parts. Each part is going to be a different part of the sorting system that I basically just couldn't fit all into one video. A little bit of a disclaimer here. I know this is not the best sorting system. I know there's ways to improve it. If you know ways to improve it, if you have ideas, please put them in the comments, but please be respectful about it. And just know that this sorting system works flawlessly for me. Okay, for the last part of this setup, we're gonna use recyclers to deal with some of the materials that we're probably going to be getting too much of. When you set up like a quarry or something, you're going to get a lot of stuff like cobblestone and dirt are just 2 of them. Other things could be, stuff like sand, gravel, but I'm just going to stick with cobblestone and dirt here. Let's hypothetically say this chest is my dirt cobblestone chest. I specifically made it a smaller chest so it would fill up easier. And as you can see, I got the filter accepting dirt and cobblestone. Now when that fills up, I want to put it into a recycler. I'm not going to get deeply into what a recycler does, but it basically gives you recycled material. I forget what it's called. I'll show you in a minute though. And you're going to want a lot of that for later on. It's useful for a lot of different things that I'm not going to get into right now. So we're going to have another pipe coming this way. And this is going to go again. I'm gonna build 3 because I always build 3. These are industrial craft engines, which means we need IC2 power, which we're gonna get with the geothermal generators. So that's gonna power those up. We're gonna we've got a magenta paintbrush, which is something new. The geothermal generators and glass fiber cables, I'm not going to get into those because you could power it however you want. That's just how I chose to power it. So we're going to put one of our trusty relays right on top, right in the middle, just like our other builds. Make sure it's facing the right way. Actually, I'm sorry, you don't put it in the middle. You put it on the sides, like that, and make sure it's facing the right way. Okay, then we're going to run our pneumatic tubes into it, come up out the top, and connect it here. Now, we're going to need a restriction tube in here again for a specific reason I'll get into in a minute. So let's just put a restriction tube right here. And let's paint it magenta. This can be painted any color. I just choose magenta. Another thing is your cobblestone, dirt, whatever junk chest, you can't have filters in there. Totally forgot about that. Okay, so we're just going to have regular pneumatic tubes. And we're going to paint those magenta. So now, anything that's coming out of, basically it's going to be what comes out of a quarry. Anything that comes out of a quarry that is kind of like something you're going to get a lot of, but you don't really need a lot of, cobblestone, dirt, gravel. Those are the 3 I'm looking at. You do want some. They're pretty useful. And depending on how much you want is up to you. You can have the chest as big as you want it or as small as you want it. You could use barrels. You could use whatever. But I'm just doing this as an example. So that should be the setup. But basically what happens is anytime I've got it all set up here, dirt and cobble, I've just got this turned off. When this dirt and cobble comes out, it's going to be painted, well, it's not going to be painted anything because I haven't set it up yet. It's going to be painted magenta. So it's going to try and go into the closest inventory it can. Can't go that way because that's painted blue. Can't go this way because that's painted white. I guess it could go that way, but that's pretty far away. And if I could always make that a restriction tube if I needed to. It's going to come over here. It's going to go for the closest inventory. This has got a restriction tube, so it's not going to go there first. It's going to come over here and go right into this chest. It can't go through any of these filters because they have items in it, and it can't go through this chest because that's painted black. So let's run this. Basically what it's going to do is it's going to fill up that chest. Once that chest is full, it's going to go for the next spot it can go to, which is going to be this magenta spot right here, and it's going to go into our recyclers. Just to make sure this goes a little quicker, I'm going to get some overclockers here and put those in here just to, just make them go a little quicker. I don't want to be waiting a long time for this stuff. Basically the way the recyclers work is I think you could put anything in it. It's basically for junk, and I think you have a 1 in 6 chance to get the item out of it that you're looking for, which is called scrap. And scrap can be used for a bunch of different things. I'm not going to get into it right now. I'm just going to let you know you want it. You want a lot of it. So let's give this a shot. Yeah, it's painted magenta, It's going to go into the magenta chest. Now remember, those are stacks because of the way I have it. Oh, okay, that's a problem. I did not see that coming. So put that right there. All right. Now since it went in on, since those items went in on the side, they're now in the. See, these covers are a little bit tricky. There we go. Now, since those items went in on the side of a filter, if an item goes in on the side of a filter, it goes in the filter. So once the cobblestone and dirt was in the filter, now this filter would accept cobblestone and dirt. That's actually a pretty neat thing that happened as a mistake, because that teaches you also something else about the game and how this stuff works. So let's grab all this stuff out of here and put it in there. Okay. Alright. Okay, mistake on my part, but it's now been fixed, and you know, it's a mistake that you're going to learn about. If something goes in the side of a filter, now you know where it goes, and you'll understand why, if something like what just happened to me happens to you, why it happened. Okay, so it's painted magenta. It's going to come through here. It should take 2 stacks of things. Now it's full. Now stuff's going to start bouncing back. This is where it's going to go, magenta, and there it goes. It's going to go into each of these recyclers. And the recyclers are going to give you scrap. So now what do you need to pull out of the recyclers? Well, what you're going to use to pull out of the recyclers is a thing called a retriever. Okay? The retriever is leather, brass ingots. Brass are gotten by putting copper and tin in an alloy furnace. You know how to make a filter. You know where ender pearls come from, and I showed you how to make a blue alloy ingot. So that's what you're going to need. You're going to need the retriever. And the retriever needs to be powered, and it also needs a redstone signal. So give me 1 sec. Okay, I wasn't prepared for this retriever thing, but I will tell you this. This setup right here, this recycler setup, is best if it's set up before your second sorting machine. So you'd really want this setup to be right here, but I'll work with it. It's not really that big of a deal. Now the retriever is going to pull things out of these machines and bring them into the system for us. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab some pneumatic tubes and we're going to put those underneath and bring them up right here. Not right there. There we go. And we will pull them right into our retriever. Now retrievers, that like copper looking side, that's the input, so we want that around like that. Alright, so then we'll bring the pneumatic tubes out like this. I mean, you could always work around things, but just for your own setup, even though this is just an example, I would make your recycler setup have the pipe come out before this first sorting machine. Like if I had to do this all over again, I would have this part, the magenta. I would connect this pipe over to here, and then that way it's before this, so I could put these back into the same system. This is a basic idea on how things work. It's definitely not the perfect setup. It's just kind of giving you an idea on how this stuff is going to operate. Alright, so this thing needs a timer. I wonder if it's getting power. It's not getting power. I'm trying to think of how I could do this easily. That right there. Now that's going to power it up. Now we're going to put the timer underneath it. The timer is pretty complicated. You start off with stone wafers. That's done by cooking stone. Then you need some stone wire. That's a redstone and stone wafer. Then you need some stone pointers. That's stone, redstone torch, and stone wafer. And then you need a stone anode, which is like that. And you need a stone cathode, which is just a redstone torch and a stone wafer. And you're going to put this down, and it should start. Well, yeah, you don't have to. Okay, you're going to put this down, and that's not going to work, is it? No, it's got to be on the same level. That's okay, I can put it right here. Oh, I didn't think of that in the first place. Alright, we're going to lower this. There we go. Now that should be pulling stuff out, and it's not. I'm not sure why it's not pulling stuff out. Actually, oh, you know what? Because it's in the bottom. You got to pull it out the side, don't you? Or the front. I could do it the front. Yeah. Okay. Because these scrap are on the side, you got to pull it out from the side. You could do it from the back. No, really, what I would do is, if I do this over, I would take the power and route it underneath so the power is underneath, and then have these pneumatic tubes out the back. But just for this instance, I will have them come out the front. That means we're going to need a cover because it's going to interact with this one. So put a cover right there. Whatever. Covers are a little annoying to place. So put that right there, and that should pull them out. There it goes. And it's going to bring it back into the system, in which case it should go into that white place and be sorted into the system wherever you want to put it. I put mine in my miscellaneous chest, but you can always have a chest just for scrap. Yep, there we go. Let's put some more cobblestone in here just to check this out. Alright, now this is the basic setup right here. This is a fully functioning sorting system. The system over here I think is pretty perfect. I think this part's perfect. The only thing I said I would do is if I had to do this again, I would have the recyclers coming out this spot. Actually, this works too. You can play around with it. It's flexible. As long as you stick with the basic ideas of the system, it's completely flexible, and you can come up with all different kinds of things. And if you do, make me a video. This system is by no means the best setup. I'm not saying it is. I know there's better ways to do this stuff. I know there's more compact ways and different ways and all different ways you could do stuff. I understand that. This is the system I have in my single player world, and it works pretty perfectly for me. Actually, it works perfectly for me, and I really enjoy it. Alright, the only thing I would do for this system differently if I were you is I would make this drop-off chest an ender chest, and then make yourself an ender pouch. That way, wherever you are in the world, you can put stuff in the ender pouch. It'll get sorted into this ender chest and completely sorted into the system. You would also set up this ender chest with things like your quarry. When you have stuff coming in from your quarry, it's going to be coming in very quickly, and you might have to alter some of this stuff. Like I said, this build is not perfect. You might have to do things like put more overclockers in your recycling thing. See, my recycling thing is actually getting backed up on cobblestone. So, you'd maybe want to put more overclockers in there. Okay, that's my sorting system. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you found it somewhat useful. And that's going to be it. So, see you later.